Holy. Yo, what's up? Neve Stubby. Sorry, I didn't see your message. Yeah, dude, he streams sniping. He just knows where I am exactly. Dude, he's focusing me again, why? If you tried Shockwave, yeah. But yeah, maybe I should play it more. I don't have it on max yet, you're right. But I already have jump pad, so it's not really that useful when I already have jump pad. And DMAT? Bro, obviously I have DMAT on max. I mean, it could be better in this loadout, but I don't have turret on max, so that's why I wanted to play turret right now. Just to get a bit more higher. Of course he's doing that. Throw it. Okay. Golden Power. Sugar free. Nutri-Score C. Okay. Oh. Sorry. How did that work? Wow. It's a bit sus now. was a weird headshot. Why do you play turrets? Because I want to level it up. He just knows. He just knows. Dude, they are so bad, there's no way they're gonna win. They're actually the worst players. They just always have luck knowing exactly where I am. Yeah, again, he like kind of pre-aims that and hits some weird snipes, bro, every time. How did he pre-aim that? Only one left. No way! No way! No way! Oh my god. Holy shit. Dude, I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that. Bro, is he gonna leave now? If he's not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna leave. Oh, he's from the last round. Does he know? Dude. How do I even explain? Are they just gonna keep throwing it away? That was so bad. That was actually the worst. Oh. Oh. Level 200. We're gonna try to stall it. Dude, what is this obsession with me? Yo, thanks for the follow, ProGG35. Wait, I know your name. Aren't you from the Finals community? Bro, I was... Oh my, the servers are so low integrate. And bro, I'm very good. No, but aren't you from the finals? Like, oh yeah, I see your profile pic. Yeah, now I remember who you are. Well, it's over. Lost to the most annoying players that exist. How do you know me? Because don't you know that I saw your stream? Don't you know that I chatted in your stream? Or what do you mean by that question? Oh. Wait. Oh, a TTP an enemy. Why is animation? What? Did we set? Okay, now there it is. How does he know? How did he know? Almost. Almost. Oh fuck. I just yanked the charger out the wall.
Fine, I
Yo,
guess you
thank
are
you,
my
bro.
little pog champ. Come here.
We're close to 1K. Oh, just did some stretching. After sitting for an hour. Dude, I wanna eat mango pieces, but it's the last one I have and I don't wanna waste it, so I'm kinda like thinking if I should eat them already or keep them for later. Please fight. No way, let's go. Let me just restart the game real quick. Let me just restart the game real quick. Oh, you gonna join back? Oh, okay.
I yanked my phone and the charger out the wall again because of my chair.
Oh, you gonna turn back? Oh, okay. Okay, I might just eat the mango pieces now. Okay, I might just eat the mango pieces now.
In einem Krankenhaus in Ludwigslust in Mecklenburg-Vorpommern ist am frühen Morgen ein Feuer ausgebrochen. Nach Angaben der Polizei kamen dabei 2 Menschen ums Leben, eine weitere
Knockout Tour finally got an update. We're on version 1.7. Brand new update to Mario Kart World. Tons of changes, but Knockout Tour is the biggest winner because we used to just have 8 rallies. We used to just have these. For the past year, just 8 different ways you can play Knockout Tour. Crazy. Knockout Tour is such a good game mode, but this really held it back.
Bro, there is no way.
I guess you are my little pontoon.
Yo, peace, last
Come
leg
here.
7-6. Thank you for the follow. play SWAT. What even is happening? Bro, he asks me where I'm from. I say Germany, and he asks why I'm from Germany. Why are you and bro, like what? Dude, are you gonna say something? They just leave? One is one. No, I misclicked. We're all 1 HP. Crazy score difference. There's nothing I can do. Yeah, bro, you're so good for camping. You're the best camp player. And in this too. What a loser, bro. What a loser. That's why I don't like World Tour so much, and rather just play. I mean, I don't know, that doesn't make a difference, to be honest. But like, it's just not fun right now. There was so many situations. Ooh. What do we say? What do we say? Yeah, I don't know. We just go offline for now.
However, we now have Drill Rally, which goes from Wario Shipyard to Bowser's Castle, and we have Boomerang Rally, which goes from
The GeForce RTX 20 series. Computer graphics reinvented.
The future of gaming graphics, ray tracing, physically calculating light paths within games, was introduced on stage with Jensen in 2018.
Because in the future, you're going to ray trace parts of the image, you're going to rasterize parts of the image, you're going to use post-processing on some of the image, and you're going to use artificial intelligence to generate all kinds of pixels that are impossible to generate otherwise. Developers all over the world are working hard on RTXing.
And now we got things like this. Did Nvidia sell a lie about ray tracing? And it's an absolutely diabolical freaking thumbnail. But it's been, you know, now ray traced has just dropped too.
Bro, this is the same video again. There's nothing new about this.
What about this is this little slide.
But until you get to the new parts, it's like 15 minutes.
That is shooting out a certain amount of
Holy watch hour farming. Holy watch hour farming.
Crazy. Now, theoretically, what they're saying here is that they're doubling the GPU and it would literally just double the performance. This seems very theoretical. I bet in real world performance will be quite a bit lower. And how they're coming up with this is they are basically saying that the GPU architectures that we've seen so far that are so amazing at ray tracing, like the RTX 5090, that these are outdated.
I won't say they just shoved it in, but it's you have to redesign the GPU in order to get this kind of level of performance.
And if you really want ray tracing to be effective, the GPUs that are out right now, fundamentally, are just not designed with ray tracing in mind. Like, it's not at the forefront, the main focus. And in order to make these claims, Boltz has some really, really weird shit going on with their GPUs, because this image I'm showing on screen is like, yeah, it kind of looks like a GPU, but it does not function like a GPU at all. This has CPU cores on it too. Like, what is going on there? And they claim that the CPU cores on a GPU make it more efficient for what they want to do. Up top here, we have a CPU core that will be managing vector cores stuff, and then is every single the GPU is to manage AMD series, and are going to be using a secure display. Shouldn't cost an insane amount of money. Now the RAM is probably the expensive part. None of the other GPU vendors do anything like it. You can scale this up to 2 chiplets, where they
Let's see what's going on.
and then is every single the GPU is to manage AMD series, and
Wer gibt dir wirklich den höchsten Gewinn bei Sportwetten? Nicht Interwetten, nicht Bet365, nicht Tipico. Winamax, die Nummer 1 für ausgezahlte Gewinne. Jetzt App downloaden.
Oh, I get it now. The reason why going all the way to the bottom doesn't...
Oh. People like that shit. Land. Like
I don't know who this
like
is.
yesterday I played with City, and I'm legit. I cannot land and stay alive for more than 10 seconds. The mother.
Oh. I'm not. Would have to get my tablet out. there will be a bit of work, so I don't know, I'm just gonna play with mouse if we go right now, so we're not gonna go full in.
Don't pick.
One rotating.
2A. It's from side.
Nice. One is up, is city.
Yeah, down.
I plant.
Okay. But that was annoying.
Okay, I thought you have no gloves.
Oh,
so
he's
I wanted
gambling, I'm gonna have to unfollow too.
I wanted to give you advice to get how is it called?
What if I do this? Oh, misclick.
Yo, I don't know why people doing this, bro. Like, oh my god, wait. Why did you even invite this? Wait, who is...
Oh my god, I just got banned. Yo, I just got banned. No, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Damn. What if I do it here, bro? Are they gonna ban me too? What happens?
Flopa veut collaborer. Comment ça? Je crois qu'il s'est trompé de commande. What? Misclick. Yes. I saw.
Oh Mann, ich krieg hier echt Brechdurchfall schon wieder. Ich spiele gerade wie ein Köter, ja.
Alright.
They both share an IO die down here and at some point because this is basically of each pixel. And what they've claimed was like, when do you make that leap? Because games aren't going to ship with ray tracing because nobody has GPUs to run it. It's a chicken or the egg thing.
Welcome to us. See you next time. Welcome to us.
On mouse. Dude, the skin has unnecessary effects, but I don't have a better skin. Do I not have more maps? No, this is way too loud. Oh my god, I'm inting. Inting, oh my god. It was almost not bad. Yeah, I might just go offline for now. Unless there's a good YouTube video to react to. I mean, I will keep playing the finals right now, but the last game was so boring, bro. It was so boring, the last games. And like this, if there was actually funny people to play with. But no, they're all just like 100% serious. Okay, we gotta remove that emote. Also, we're only gonna watch English stuff now, since the previous entire stream has been English only.
FSR 4.1 is finally available for RDNA 3 RX 7000 series GPU.
I've seen these types of videos already, but let's watch it anyway.
Hi Hylians, Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition just came out, and today we'll see which glitches still work. Check the links in the description for the time.
Can I do it? We're gonna try. Alright, let's go to the shrine. No, how's this loading time? So hold ZL, press ZL at the same time, move left and jump. Okay, good. Now, talk to this thing. Once it goes... Okay, I took too long. We'll do it again. Alright, we did it. Now we're gonna load the save file. We'll see. Wait, can I do the team? A move?
Bro, this is so complicated.
What? This works. Okay, now we're going to check if the duplication glitch works with the shields. You can overload the menu. I did check that, so we're gonna do that first. I just didn't check if this glitch works. Works.
Yeah, anyway.
Why does AI need drinkable water to run? Every single message that you send to an AI model uses drinkable water. And how does it happen that a message that I send to an AI bot uses drinkable water? And for an estimate, about 20 messages to ChatGPT-3 uses half a liter of drinkable water, which is a whole water bottle. And so why does this whole process happen? And why exactly drinkable water?
6 months ago already. Commented on it, alright. Wait, no, I commented about something old. Then we can update the comment. The way we can exploit this. No, actually, let's keep that up.
I'm going Revo so I can help our boy.
Sounds good, sounds good. Still get this.
So AMD just shadow dropped FSR 4 today for RDNA 3 GPUs. That's their 7000 series GPUs. I did not get early warning or early access as this was happening. They said it was coming.
This could be interesting.
Hey Super Paper Mario fans, has this ever happened to you? Ever just enter a new room and this happens? This is the second most notorious game crash in Super Paper Mario. The first is actually a bug in Chapter 2-2 specific to PAL Revision 0 copies of the game, and it was officially acknowledged by Nintendo back when the game was released back in 2007, where affected players had the option to get a free replacement Revision 1 disc. But that is not the topic of this video. Today, I want to convince you that what I just called the second most notorious game crash in SPM should actually be the first, because it has killed many speedruns, including ones on world record pace. But it doesn't just affect speedrunners. It can happen to you, almost anywhere, at any time, randomly. This is what the community has referred to as a VC crash, or more specifically, a JP VC crash. Although this crash is rare, and it is possible on other versions of the game, it happens the most often on the Japanese Wii U Virtual Console release, which so happens to be the fastest version for speedrunning the game. Do you see the problem here? For nearly 10 years, speedrunners who want to crack at a top time have had to play on this version of the game, knowing full well that the game had a small chance to crash anytime you entered a new room, which would kill the run. This even happened to me very recently during my first round of the annual Pit Percent tournament, which, in all honesty, is my fault. More on that later. For over 10 years, there was a vague understanding of why these crashes happened, yet the definitive cause remained unknown. That is, until this year. By January 2026, SPM glitch hunter John P55 had been looking into the causes of VC crashes for a while, and had finally found out what exactly caused them, and how they could be prevented. So, what exactly causes these crashes? Why were they more common on JP Wii U Virtual Console? And ultimately, when the cause was found, and a mod to patch the bug was made, what did the speedrun community do about it? But first, a quick word from today's sponsor, Artwood. Since our progressive upload on and gaining control of your character, the game will preload files for all adjacent rooms, which include enemies, objects, textures, etc. These files are all loaded from the game disk. During this process, a function DVD read async prio runs, which sends the file request to the disk drive, after which some parameters are set, including a struct known as DVD entry, and then a callback function runs after a file is read from the disk. DVD entry stores the context of the file request so that it can be read in multiple parts, including parameters such as length remaining, which shows how much of the file is left to be loaded. It's actually quite useless though, since the game loads each file all at once rather than in parts. If anything, it just made the game more unstable, especially in the case of an interrupt. An interrupt is when the CPU is forced to stop what it's doing, save its state, and run an interrupt service routine before resuming its saved state. These interrupts can occur at any time, and it's especially problematic when one of these interrupts happens after DVD read async prio is called, but before the DVD entry parameters are set. Even when parameters such as length remaining are not set properly due to an interrupt, the disk read still finishes. This means that the callback function runs, and since the length remaining variable wasn't cleared properly, it assumes that the disk needs to be read again because the incorrect length remaining variable indicates that it still needs to load the entire file. The end result of this second disk read leads to two separate threads of the CPU trying to set the same parameters, which leads to the game crashing. This crash is possible on every Japanese version of the game, and revisions 0 and 1 of the North American release. The PAL and US revision 2 releases patch this bug. As we can see here in these versions of the game, the callback function has been modified so it no longer needs to verify the length remaining parameter of DVD entry, which in turn prevents a second disk read and the risk of a crash. Because the PAL and US releases on Wii U Virtual Console use these versions of the game, they don't crash like this, while the Japanese Wii U Virtual Console version still does. But wait, if the bug is all related to the disk drive, why is the crash so much more common on Japanese Wii U VC when it's a digital version, not a physical disk? But that's exactly the problem. The digital game has faster loads, since it doesn't need to be read from a disk drive, which not only makes speedruns of this version faster, but also loads the files so fast that it makes the DVD thread interrupt all the more dangerous, since it takes less time for the conditions for the game crash to be met. After John identified the cause and ran some experiments, on February 8th, 2026, he revealed his findings to the community, and released an early version of a mod that would fully patch out these crashes. This was a game changer. Finally, after all these years, runners could safely play the fastest version of the game without the risk of a random crash looming over them. But before the community could celebrate, a difficult topic had to be addressed. This was a mod, and if you know anything about speedrunning, it's generally encouraged to do runs on official vanilla releases of games. Allowing a mod of any kind is inherently divisive, especially within months of a cheating scandal where mods were allegedly used to gain an advantage. Even though this mod served exclusively as a means to patch the crashing bug, some were worried that someone could load other mods undetected. John, also a moderator for the speedrun leaderboards, then opened up a poll for the community to vote on, as well as explain the reasons for whether it should be allowed or not. Safe to say, despite some initial concerns, the community at large was enthusiastic to allow the crash fix for the leaderboard. On March 19th, 2026, John would release the crash fix for JP Wii U Virtual Console, and it was officially allowed on the leaderboards. So how does it work, and how were concerns of loading other mods addressed? Well, setting it up is pretty easy. After downloading the patch from the GitHub page, you extract the zip file, drop the private folder into the root of your SD card, load up the virtual Wii menu on the Wii U, and transfer the Super Paper Mario save from the SD card directly to your system memory. Afterwards, you open up the save file REL loader, open the item menu, and the game will restart with the crash fix, indicated by text shown on the title screen that must be shown in the proof video when submitting the runs on the leaderboard. It's that easy. So why the hell didn't I do this before I VC crashed during a tournament race? Well, I don't know how to put this. I was just kinda lazy, and I didn't VC crash before, so I took the risk and paid the price. Now I feel foolish. So don't be like me, guys. Special thanks to John P55 for his contributions to the Super Paper Mario community.
Hi, watching this video will take 20 minutes of your time and leave you with a bunch of useless information about Skyward Sword. Don't say I didn't warn you. Let's go. I'd like to begin with a retelling of the game's story. This is The Legend of Groose. Long ago, before the Kingdom of Hyrule was founded, the world was threatened by an ancient evil, a terrible demon who sought dominion over the land. And when this darkness rose, a hero emerged. His name was Groose, captain of the Knights of Skyloft. A popular, ambitious boy with magnificent hair. As fate would have it, one day Groose's beloved girlfriend Zelda was taken from the skies. And while others would embark on minor side quests, Groose alone understood the gravity of the situation. As darkness spread across the land, Groose descended from the heavens, armed with unmatched courage. Accompanying Groose was a promising young knight. Although his name has been lost to history, he did prove useful on several occasions. Upon reaching the surface, the hero assessed the situation and developed an advanced technology to drive back the evil. Historians would later call this weapon the Groosinator, chosen by Groose himself. Again and again, the ancient beast attempted to escape, and again, the hero drove it back into the earth. And in the final stage of his master plan, he used the Groosinator to launch that young swordsman directly towards this demon beast to deliver the final blow. In his downtime, he protected Impa, bodyguard of the incarnation of Hylia herself, and in the climax of battle, ensured her safety as well. In the centuries that followed, the details became distorted, yet hidden beneath the legend lies a greater truth. In recognizing his chosen sidekick lacked the means to confront evil, Groose provided him the means to an end. The Skyview Spring comes back in Breath of the Wild as the Spring of Power. I argue this isn't just artistic inspiration, this is the same exact location. The markings around and above the entry door match, as do the markings and the torches on the pillars lining the aisleway. Several waterfalls are all in the same places. Up the stairs, the stonework on this platform matches. Where there were once 4 pillars, there are now 4 pillar stumps, and it seems the water level has risen, even though when looking at some of the other aspects of this place that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but there are 2 round stepping stone-like features now submerged, and then the main one in front of the goddess statue, which has the symbol of the goddess engraved on it, and we can see this symbol still engraved underwater in Breath of the Wild. Whenever I come across these little LD301 series robots with the digger claw attachments, I can't help but simultaneously be reminded of 3 different characters: Wolverine, Freddy Krueger, and Edward Scissorhands. The skipper has a lot of cool things in his room, most notably a bunch of portraits on the wall. One in particular seems to be a reference to the scene in Titanic when Jack and Rose are at the bow of the ship.
Flying.
Most important to the story of the game is the portrait of the crew aboard the sand ship, but if it was sailing back in the days when Lanayru was not a desert and this was the Lanayru Sea, why would it be called the sand ship? And for that matter, why are the robots designated?
I'm actually not interested in this video. What the fuck? Guys, what is this video? Oh, this is peak. Did we gotta play that game on stream? Okay. What the hell? Okay, it was funny, but bro, 10 minutes 40 is like a bit too long stretched. Like, if the video was shorter, it would have been funnier. Four days ago. This could 1 hour 19.
Alright, I'll cut to the chase. Mario 3D Land speedruns are insane.
Bro, I might need to play this game on stream again. I did it once in about 2020.
This is the most underrated 3D Mario speedrun. Most people out there haven't seen it and aren't familiar with it, but a huge minute barrier was just broken in this game with this awesome new any % world record. I'll explain all of the intricate details to you, plus I have some other surprises in store. Stick around! Before moving on, I need to talk about this video's sponsor. Sponsors allow me to do this full time, and without them, there wouldn't be any videos. That being said, today's video is sponsored by War Thunder. War Thunder parts all around as posters and gaming % that has ever happened in this game. This is the first new minute barrier broken since Zelda Cubed got a 53 5 years ago. The record was hovering around the mid 53 range for a few years until Noah went on an absolute tear over the last several months to push for this legendary 52. And here it is. This run incorporates a lot of the newest strategies, collects some unexpected power-ups, and there's just so much cool stuff to show off and explain for you. I'm going to cover the full any% world record, and then there will be some extra things to show off at the end, so look forward to that too. This is going to be one big celebration of this game and this awesome speedrun that a lot of people haven't seen. Okay, let's dive into it then. The run starts with a 1-minute cutscene where Bowser kidnaps Peach. Shocker. It's really good for multiple reasons, which we'll soon see. Now, you'll notice Noah going out of his way to collect these star medals. Part of the speedrun too. Corpse aside, we see some of what it can do here at the end, where he flutters right over to the flag. Back, call the manual, and if you do a long jump while rolling, you do a rolling long jump. This is better than a normal long jump. It has 30 speed instead of 27, so it's about 10% better. When you have the Tanuki suit though, he doesn't roll. He does this twirl attack, and then if you input long jump, he does this twirling long jump. There are also a few slightly different variations of twirl jumps. There's kind of some advanced versions of it, but yeah, here I compared all of them, and in terms of speed, they're really not that different. But they can help with spacing, twirl jump methods, but for now, let's touch on what happened at the very end. Here, Noah doesn't just flutter to the pole. You can see he slides off the edge and then starts fluttering. This is a crouch boost. For some reason, whenever you crouch and start sliding, you get a base-mal. Plus, fluttering with the Tanuki suit lets you maintain it for a long time. Essentially slide off of it. Now, one thing to note is you can't flutter out of a twirl jump, only a regular long jump. I've been talking for kind of a long time now, and we're just in 1-1. But naturally, there are a lot of things to cover up front. Let's move on to 1-2 now though. To start, I'm just gonna let this level play out. Enjoy! Alright, did you see some crouch boosts in there? I'm sure you did. This level's full of them, and a lot of tight movement. First, Noah sneaks under this spike ball. It's actually very easy to get hit by if you don't do it just right. And then we have this awesome crouch boost plus bounce off of a Goomba to keep going farther. Another way to extend the speed from a crouch boost is bouncing off of enemies. Alright, now, next up, this part right here. He long jumps and grabs this medal. This probably doesn't look significant, but here, I have to go on a tangent about directions in this game. A lot of people who play this walk away saying, you can only move in 8 directions. I have heard this many times about this game, but it's not true. You can move in a lot more than 8 directions. It's just kinda hard. Here's why. The range of possible angles looks something like this. There are zones which will snap you to the main 8 directions. But there are pockets in between with a bunch of possible angles. So yes, while it is tricky, you can go in a lot more than 8 directions in this game. Angles working this way, among other things, makes a lot of this speedrun way harder than it looks. So many simple looking things are actually really hard to do consistently. Like even just jumping up these platforms.
Do you want me to go
1-1,
offline or?
I don't know. I really can't express how tricky a lot of little things in this game are.
I mean, I'm
unless
just
you've tried
waiting right now. I
speedrunning it
might
yourself.
go back to
But
Finals
I will
later,
do my
so that's
best
why
to
I haven't
explain
stopped
what I
the stream, you know.
What goes at an angle between upright, straight right, and down right.
So when I'm just reacting to videos like this, not knowing what to play, do you want me to go offline or no?
This is
I'm
just one tiny
genuinely
spot in the run
asking.
here, but so easy to mess up. If you're a little too high or low on either of these angles, you can easily get snapped to a direction you don't want. You'll go straight and land on the plant. A lot can go wrong just off of holding some simple angles here. This is one example of precision in this game that's just completely invisible as a viewer. Anyway, moving on. At this point, Noah does a crouch boost off this ledge, and another crouch boost off of a later ledge, another crouch boost off of this block, and finally, he goes back here to collect the last star medal. After that, he does an angled wall jump. More about those in a couple levels from now. but basically he did a really good wall jump up here. And he takes the classic 1-2 secret running over the top of the level to find a warp zone. He takes this orange pipe, which skips the rest of World 1 and goes to World 2. So that's the first world done. Jumping right into 2-1, at the start, there's these binoculars to look into. If you zoom all the way in and look at Toad, he throws a star medal down for you, and it ends up way over here. So in the speedrun, we need to move quickly to the binoculars, look at Toad briefly, and then make our way over there. Now here's what Noah does. He's gonna exit as soon as Toad throws the medal, and then watch this. He takes a really unexpected jump over this direction, so he can build up speed with crouch boosts and move faster toward the star medal. This looks pretty interesting, but it actually went a little wrong. He missed a crouch boost right here, so he had to pivot his line a little bit. Here's how it's supposed to look. Normally he'd get more speed here, and then do another one off this power-up block as well. Mario gets so much speed if you do it all right. And here's why. The speed you gain from a crouch boost compounds. It multiplies by about 1.2 each time. So if you chain several in a row, you build a lot of speed. It's kind of like BLJs in Mario 64, but more limited on how many you can do. Imagine if you could do a ton in quick succession like in Mario 64. Yeah, TASes in this game can actually do crazy stuff. There hasn't been a full game TAS, but a few levels have been messed with, and it looks insane. I'll show some more clips like this at the end of the video. Anyway, yeah, Noah didn't quite get the boost he wanted, but he still got some speed, bounced off this bounce pad up to the medal, and then made his way into this pipe. The second star medal for this level is in here, which he nabs quickly with a wall jump and tail swipe. I guess I haven't mentioned it yet, but Mario can do a tail attack with the Tanuki suit, which is useful for hitting enemies, but also for grabbing star medals. Alright, there's one star medal left, and then he can beeline to the flagpole. He has this unfortunate bonk from a tiny ledge on the way up, but recovers quickly with a crouch boost off this fence, and grabs the third star medal. Now, here, we're going to see the real power of the Tanuki suit. He climbs straight up here, thanks to the Tanuki suit's ability to flutter and repeated wall jumps up this corner. That takes him straight to the top and skips bounce pads, a warp box, this bridge, a whole bunch of stuff. Again, there are a lot of mechanics to explain up front, so I'm sorry I can't let this thing play for very long without stopping to point out all these intricate details. It'll be less like that the farther in we get. But I do have one more thing I have to point out here. When he jumped off this fence, normally you can't make this jump up. He's only able to make this because he does a twirl boost. If you do a twirl attack, release the crouch button, and then jump out of it, you get a higher jump than normal. I don't know why that's the case, but it helps make jumps like this. And yeah, finally, again, these wall jumps are just way harder than they look. It's not too bad to just get up here at all, but to do it this fast, man, you don't understand how easy it is to have improper angles, or for Mario to just start fluttering at this corner and not sliding on the wall at all. Anyway, that's 2-1. Let's move on to 2-2. Here is another difficult and intricate level. 2-2 has these green panels you're supposed to activate, and then wait for them to roll out to help you get through. Noah will be doing none of that. At the start, he does a long jump flutter to skip the first one, and grab a star medal. Again, he does another really nice angle while fluttering here. He moves on with just some good platforming to skip the next set of panels, and now, time for a crouch boost. This time, he keeps crouching for a while to fall down more before starting to flutter. And here, he flubs this next jump a bit. Most runners will just long jump onto here and then wall jump up, but Noah is doing the highest level strat and trying to make it up from the bottom. He barely didn't get out from under the ceiling though, so a little mistake here. Anyway, he grabs the second star medal, and here comes the big part. Check this out. This is such a cool skip. It looks awesome, and if anything goes wrong here, it's just death. There's a lot that goes into pulling all of this off. First, you may have noticed that he turns the camera here. You can do this with either the D-pad or with these buttons on the touchscreen. But if you think about it, how do you push any of these buttons while controlling Mario and actively long jumping and wall jumping and stuff? Noah does this by using his right pointer finger to claw the touchscreen while doing everything else. These wall jumps he does are harder than they look, too. These are angled wall jumps. The sooner you wall jump after Mario starts to slide on a wall, the steeper of an angle Mario can jump off of it. It's like every frame spent sliding on a wall reduces his facing angle into the wall jump. In order to make this skip, you need some good angled wall jumps. The earlier you jump, the better angle you'll get, and the more likely you'll get far enough to reach the blocks. But it's easy to mess up and not get an angled wall jump, and then you just die. So yeah, you're dealing with that on top of turning the camera. The reason for turning the camera is to load this flying block earlier. That gets it moving earlier, so he doesn't have to wait on it at all and can immediately long jump to it and off of it. Now, he again does a nice angle upward toward this Goomba to bounce off of it and reach the end. Just so satisfying. Again, here if you get a straight right or upright angle instead, you die. Plus, if you're just a little bit off on anything, this can happen, where you take damage and bounce on the Goomba. A really weird interaction that can happen in this game. But yeah, an awesome looking level. Noah did the skip beautifully, and once outside he finds the hidden 3rd star medal. One more crouch boost toward the flagpole, and that's 2-2. On to 2-3. Well, actually, there's this mystery box on the overworld to go into first. These appear every couple worlds. Inside, you defeat some enemies, and you're rewarded with a star medal. These boxes are required before moving on to the next level, or else they wouldn't be worth going into. But it is nice that the medals from these will allow us to skip a few extra throughout the run. Alright, with that done, actually on to 2-3. One fun thing about this game and this speedrun is each level is very unique in its layout and mechanics. So here we have 2-3, which is this huge sprawling level. It also introduces propeller blocks, which you're supposed to use to navigate through the air in order to traverse this stage. Noah's not really gonna do that though. Right at the start, he immediately goes down and to the right to find this spindle thing, which is called a tail wheel. Hitting it with the Tanuki tail takes you upward, and the 1st star medal is up here. Now, what Noah is about to do is one of the last major mechanics I need to explain. Hyperspeed. It turns out this game does not have a cap on sideways speed. If you long jump and hold sideways, you just keep building speed forever. There are a few levels like this where you can fall for a long time, and we'll be taking great advantage of this to build up a lot of speed. Unfortunately, we do have to stop our momentum to collect some star medals here, but that's alright. Noah gets a propeller block and long jumps towards this one, and even builds up some sideways speed as he propellers into it. For the next medal, normally you're supposed to lift up another platform, but Noah does a twirl boosted jump and hovers over here to get it faster. Now, Noah gets hit by this Goomba on purpose to ditch the propeller block. You can't do twirl jumps when you have a propeller block, only regular long jumps. But he wants to do twirl jumps because they're faster. And there we go, that's 2-3. On to 2-4 now. This will be the first level where there's not some major mechanic to explain. There are these platforms which flip to red or blue each time you jump, so that's interesting, and we do need to be very calculated here. At this part, I really like the bounce off of this bee. After that, Noah wants to do a crouch boost off of this ledge to flutter over to this medal. But he just overshoots it. He recovers quickly though, and makes his way over to this rainbow note block. It sends you up to the sky for a star medal. This medal is one of the slowest in the route, but it's just barely fast enough to be worth grabbing. Once he falls down out of the sky, he does a crouch boost and flutters over to this flying block, which is a stepping stone to reach the final star medal. Then he flutters over to the flagpole, and that's another one down. Alright, this next level will be our first airship. These are at the end of each world, and they're usually auto-scrollers. Not auto-scrollers. Those are slow and boring. But not in this game, because you can go ahead of the auto-scroll. That's right, in the speedrun, you have to go ahead of the screen and play these levels blind. Rather than being boring and trivial, this makes them some of the most difficult levels. There are a couple caveats here though. The main one being, star medals aren't loaded when they're off screen. So if you want to do a whole level blind, you might have to miss some star medals. The other important detail to know, which actually helps a lot with the star medal issue, is that there are some places on these ships where the camera will jump over to you. These serve as checkpoints, which not only let you see where you're going again, but also let you collect nearby star medals. Alright, anyway, here's what 2-ship normally looks like, outside of a speedrun. When you get over here a ways, there's a warp box, which takes you back here for a star medal. After grabbing it, you can warp back. After waiting a bit longer, there's a star medal up here. And then, at the end, there's this lower platform with the last star medal hidden down here. Alright, with all of that in mind, let's watch how Noah does it in the speedrun. As you saw, there are multiple places in this level where we get the camera jumping over to us. The first is back here at the first star medal. The way Noah got back here is actually by jumping off this bullet bill launcher platform. And something else you wouldn't realize is when he goes back here, he long jumps straight to the right, then flutters upward toward the platform. The reason for this is the camera will jump farther ahead the farther to the right you are. If he just went straight to the platform, he'd have to wait longer for the camera to scroll. Now, instead of taking the warp box back, he just long jumps back over. Then he goes to the right, gets on this block, and turns the camera.
They might go offline there now. Because I will stream longer, but like finals, I don't know, kinda stale.
You have probably upgraded a Minecraft world many times over the years, but have you ever wondered what happens if you go through every major version of the game in a single world? I will begin with my modded Inf 2010-0227 client, as I have implemented saving. In this version you can't really set up any base, since half the game is not implemented yet. There are no chests or other things that can break during upgrading, so I will just find a brick pyramid and move on. The next thing of this is interesting, which is the main reason to wonder if that is caused by the game fuel jar files. So I would have to pack it right, have traits, and their AI is that of pigs. But after that it seems the old villagers are perfectly valid, if we exclude their appearance to 1.13. With 1.5 the only notable difference is the loss of texture for the locked chest block. Now it is just using the missing texture, instead of whatever happens to be at the Atlas. Also, the end portal block seems to be using the RD. And also the old wooden slab no longer has yet respawned, so the failsafe works, function properly when placed. And in the F3 menu you can see they are actually stone swaps. Other than that, the world upgrades fine. This before is that opening a map was crashing the game, due to some newer map data being left over from downgrading. With 1.16 you might be thinking the Nether will be interesting, but it isn't. A fun fact about the Nether is that the world generator is basically identical from Alpha 1.2 all the way to the latest version, so you're not getting chunk borders, and 1.16 just adds biomes. So it is still the same, even the water is still here. So if you decide to try playing the game and upgrading the world over time, don't forget to get some water in the Nether, in old versions where there are ways to do so, before upgrading, and it will stay. One weird thing is that all the old Nether portals that didn't get wiped in 1.8 now have their portal blocks rotated the wrong way. This was probably the reason for deleting them there in the first place. The weirdest part is that the stacked items are still standing, so the inventory system still supports some broken stuff. But I want to go through every major version, so here it is. This is basically 1.16. You can also create a world like that in modern Minecraft, as I made a mod that ports this world generator. Nothing interesting happens in 1.21.11 as well. At this point I will skip 26.1 and so many chunks are corrupted around the world. So, what happens when you upgrade the world through so many versions? Well, the answer is simple, a ton of corruption. When I started this I honestly didn't
Alright,
expect
I'm
much.
gonna go offline for now.